Welcome back to Pulse of the Planet, bringing you the latest news from around the world. Hungary's story has always been shaped by where it is, right in the middle of Central Europe, in a big bowl of land called the Carpathian Basin. It's like a crossroads where different empires and trade routes met. This central spot brought both good things and bad things. It made Hungary a path for business, but also a battleground for bigger countries. For hundreds of years, other countries ruled Hungary, from the Romans to the Soviets. This taught Hungarians to be tough and to think smart about how they deal with other countries. Remembering how they were stuck between big groups of countries isn't just old history. It still affects how Hungary's leaders make decisions today. Dealing with powerful neighbors has meant being very clever politically, trying to be independent while also knowing when to make compromises. Even after joining the EU and NATO, Hungary never felt like it was giving up its special identity or its ability to make its own choices. Today, as power around the world changes, Hungary is again using its central location. It's saying that the West isn't as strong as it used to be, and there are new chances in the East, especially with China. Instead of picking a side, Hungary wants to be a bridge, connecting Asia's strong economy with Europe's markets. This idea is the basis for Hungary's bold and sometimes debated strategy for dealing with the world. Under Prime Minister Viktor Orban, Hungary's Eastern opening policy is a clear move away from only working with Western countries. Instead, it's building strong connections with growing Asian powers, especially China. The government says that the world's economy is moving eastward, and Hungary must change with it, or risk falling behind. By working with China, Hungary hopes to get investments, new places to sell its goods, and advanced technology. They say this is just being smart about money, not about political ideas. In 2015, Hungary was the first EU country to join China's Belt and Road Initiative. This showed that Hungary wanted to be China's main entry point into the EU. Their partnership got even stronger in 2024, when Hungary was given the highest level of diplomatic status by China, called an all-weather comprehensive strategic partnership. For Orban, this is also about being able to make its own choices. Since the EU is holding back money because of disagreements about rules, China offers other money and influence. Hungary's message to Brussels is clear. It has powerful friends and options outside of the European and American systems. The Eastern opening is a strategy for both the world and Europe. It's designed to create a more independent path within the West. This carefully planned move is changing how Hungary deals with other countries. It's a risk taken for more independence, not just for money. The world is watching to see if it works out. Chinese money has made Hungary the top place in Europe for Chinese investments in 2024. The electric car industry is the most important part. CATL is building a huge battery factory in Debrecen, and BYD is opening its first European car factory in Szeged. These big investments are creating jobs and bringing in many other companies that supply parts. This makes Hungary a key player in Europe's move towards green energy. Big building projects are another important part. The Belgrade-Budapest Railway, paid for by China, will connect Asian supply chains directly to Europe. Chinese banks now operate in Budapest, and direct flights connect Hungary to major Chinese cities, which helps trade and tourism. The government says this is good for everyone. China gets a place to make things in the EU, while Hungary makes its economy modern and gets good jobs. Some people worry about how open these deals are and what they might cost in the long run, but the economic changes are clear. Hungary is betting its future on this partnership. Hungary's choice to use Chinese technology is bold, and some people disagree with it. While most Western countries avoid Huawei because they worry about security, Hungary works with the tech giant to build its 5G network. They put cost and speed first, even if their allies are concerned. This makes Hungary an important spot in China's digital Silk Road and a test case for how independent countries can be with technology in Europe. At the same time, Chinese investments in electric cars and batteries are helping Hungary quickly move into the green economy. There are plans for joint research projects in things like artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and renewable energy. The goal is to create a lively place for new ideas and inventions. Hungary's strategy is to get modern fast by working with a global leader in technology, even if it means doing things differently from the West. People who support Hungary's shift towards China say it's a smart way to manage the country in a new time. The money side of things is the main point. Tens of billions in Chinese investments, over 170,000 jobs, and local economies getting stronger. The government says this is a strong statement of independence, that Hungary is no longer just following rules, but is a country with choices. Having different partners gives Hungary more power when the EU holds back money. And it makes Hungary less dependent on any single group of countries. Focusing on high-tech areas is seen as forward-thinking, aiming to make Hungary a center for new ideas, not just a place where things are put together. Getting technology from China is seen as key to building a strong, modern economy. Supporters also see this as Hungary going back to its old role as a bridge between the East and the West. They argue that Hungary can do well by connecting Europe and Asia, which also makes it more important in world discussions. This idea of independence and wealth is what drives the move eastward. Hungary's strategy with China faces strong criticism both at home and from other countries. Western allies see Huawei's role in Hungary's 5G network as a security risk, which strains trust within NATO and the EU. Critics accuse Hungary of being like a Trojan horse for China in Europe, weakening the EU's unity on how it deals with other countries and on human rights. Inside Hungary, projects backed by China have caused protests because of worries about the environment, how workers are treated, and fears of becoming too dependent. The plan for a Fudan University campus, which didn't happen, showed that there are limits to what the public will accept. As tensions between the US and China grow, Hungary's balancing act becomes riskier. Trying to stay neutral might not be possible anymore. Critics warn that strong economic ties could give Beijing dangerous power over Hungary's future. The country's big gamble could bring great rewards, or a dangerous fall. Beyond just money, Hungary and China are building cultural and educational connections. Scholarships and exchange programs send Hungarian students to China and Chinese students to Hungary. Also, Confucius Institutes teach Chinese language and culture in Hungarian universities. Chinese is now an option in Hungary's national school curriculum, showing how important it's becoming. Universities are changing their courses to fit the needs of Chinese investors, and even offer programs in traditional Chinese medicine. Cultural centers and joint festivals help people from both countries connect, making the partnership feel more natural. The Fudan University campus, which was planned but then stopped, showed both how ambitious this cultural push was and its limits. By weaving together cultural and educational ties, both countries hope to make their partnership strong enough to handle changes in world politics. Hungary's move towards China is a test case for Europe's future in a world where power is spread out among many countries. Budapest's choices challenge the EU's unity and raise questions about whether the group can act as one. If Hungary succeeds, balancing East and West, getting economic benefits without losing its independence, other countries might follow. This could break up Europe's shared power. If the risks don't pay off, Hungary could become alone, which would make the argument for European unity even stronger. The pressure is huge. Hungary must reassure its Western allies while also building stronger ties with a country that is seen as a rival. Its strategy of working on two paths at once is like a high-wire act with no safety net. Hungary's story is a small example of how the world is changing, as countries everywhere rethink their alliances in a shifting world. The outcome will shape not just Hungary's future, but Europe's place in the new world order.